core exercises for you to work on. These are strongly Pilates based, with the assumption that you are quite comfortable working in flat back, where you imprint the lower spine into floor, and on neutral. No modifications, or not many modifications offered for this. Let's go. Your first move, you said in child's pose. Enjoy. Your hands are not allowed to move. Create tension between the inner thighs, as if you're gripping a yoga block between them, and keep that tension on. Core arm, ready to go. Where's my timer gone? Let's go. Lift up and over, an imaginary fire. Your belly lifts up and over. Want to work harder? Come forward, reach forward. How far forward can you reach? So imagine there's something way ahead of you, your favourite chocolates, just out of reach. We have a whole minute of these. I'm trying to make sure that I don't see this. You need to keep your bottom as far away from the floor as you can. So you're rounding in a bit of a cat curl, and you're using the squeeze of your lower part of your bum to tuck downwards to hold that cat curl. Want to show off? Can you keep the pressure the same in both legs? Yeah, so do you feel when you reach one arm forward, how that pressure switches out of one knee? You need to keep the pressure in both knees if you possibly can. However, we'll practice that more in the next one. 3, 2, 1, have a quick breather, and as soon as you're ready, join me for hot hands. Bring the weight as far forward as you can. Let's reset. Knees a lot wider, so my knees are almost as wide as the mat. Tension between the inner thighs, and look at my hips. They're way in front of my knees. Lift away from the mat. Let's go, hot hands. So we're trying to tap the opposite shoulder. If it's dead easy, you've probably got a lot of weight in your legs. You need as much weight in your hands as you can. So I'm core bracing. I'm working a lot closer to spinal imprint than neutral spine. Although if you know how to do this in neutral spine, go for it. The closer together your hands are when you start, the easier it is. You can go for a wider hand position with me, shoulder width, or even wider. Feeling like you want to show off, or if you progress with this move, you can come onto your toes. So this is the principle. We're trying to keep the weight the same in both feet or both knees. So do you feel how one knee wants to move as you lift one hand? You've got about 10 seconds left, by the way. And over time, that coaching point about the knees will make sense. You just got to squeeze. Your body will tell you what you need to do. I'm squeezing bum and core and probably face. 3, 2, 1, quick breather. When you're ready to move on, here's your next exercise. Firefly, starting child's pose. Brace the core, take the knee wide and high. Now, if your glutes aren't quite, alternate sides by the way. How far forward can you come? Want to show off? And a baby press up. Now, if your glutes and core are a little bit too flexible, without the stability and strength they need, you might get something called a hip impingement, where you feel pain in the front of your hip. So what we need to do is look after that. Now, keep going. It comes from the knee going too high out to the side. So don't lift it so much, and maybe don't come quite as far forward if that's an option, because we don't want to go into pain. The idea is this fixes you rather than breaks you. Well, it might break you a little bit. 5 seconds? Why not? Let's work to the end. 3, 2, 1, have a breather. Now we need stability in the hips. So let's reset. Done. Lots of space for your shoulder. Waist as high as you can, so you've got a really good stretch here. And then we're going to try and work with the knees apart. If you can't, then feet together or knees together for even easier. So let's go. 3 little pulses at the top, lower down and repeat. So I'm clenching the bottom. Now, if your glutes, once again, aren't working quite as well as they could, you might not have the stability in the hips. So you might have to have feet together and knees apart, which looks like this. And if that's still no good, you might have to have both knees down. 3, 2, 1. Keep going. You're trying to grip an imaginary tennis ball here, or get as many tires as you can here. And you're also trying to crack an imaginary walnut, keep going, just behind the side of the hip, in the meaty part of the glute. So, crack away, grip away. Let's keep going. Squeeze the muscles of the bum. Smile as much as you like. Brace the core. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now this is a toughie. If you've had enough, you're going to have to keep your hips on the floor. We're going into a cat-cow and we're going to thread needle. So we're reaching as far under as we can. Reset. Reach as far under as we can. I'm still core bracing. You might choose to work a little harder by lifting the hips up off the floor. Depends how your shoulder feels. Now I need you to keep going if you're serious about getting results, but I want to just show you something because not everybody is great in the neck or shoulders. So you might have to keep your hips on the floor and have the hand on the floor instead of the elbow. There's a lot less gravity working on the neck here. Don't forget, your hand shouldn't be here. A, you can't get under. B, there's a lot of stress on the wrist and shoulder. Hand away. Reach as far under as you can. You've got 15 seconds. Are you still going? Brace the core. We had breath work, which I haven't focused on yet. Exhale, reach. Inhale, reset. Exhale, reach. 5 seconds. Inhale, reset. How's the shoulder? 3, 2, 1. Before we do the other side, we've got to lie on your back and get a little bit of release for those muscles. So we've got frog. So I'm going to face this way around because the sun's around. It's glorious, but I don't need it in my eyes when I'm coaching. So let's work with spinal imprint. You're going to finish up with external rotation with the knees point sideways and the thighs have swiveled the way a ballet dancer would do. If it's too strong, you can put your hands under your bottom, but over time we need to imprint. So push the lower back into the floor, try not to go into pain, knees are wide. You pull the knees towards you and then you exhale, go into your ballet first position. Inhale, exhale. When we inhale and draw the legs in, the tailbone lifts slightly. If this is too much, as I've said, you can put the hands just under your bottom to help you get a little bit more strength and support, but also you can do one leg at a time. The footwork isn't essential, it's a bonus. Get a little bit deeper into flossing the nerves, and if the nervous system isn't gliding as freely as it could, you end up a little bit tighter. Breathwork also releases and soothes the parasympathetic nervous system. How are we doing for time? Oh, I set a 2-minute timer. I clicked on the wrong one, but here's the good news. We haven't even done a minute yet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Should we set up for side plank and keep the timer going, or do you need to press pause? It's this exercise. 3, 2, 1. So you're clenching your bottom. You're checking that the hips don't mind this. Imaginary tennis ball here. Cracking a walnut with what seems to be quite a saggy part of the bottom at the minute. 3, 2, 1. The arm overhead isn't essential, but it's great if you've got an imbalance and a little bit of stretch is needed to increase the distance between the ribs and the hips. Remember, if it's too much, feet together, knees apart. Still too much, knees together as we go here. Triple pulse at the top, 20, 15 seconds to go. If you can do the knees apart, it builds the stability in the side of the hip, as well as getting a wonderful connection between the shoulders and the core, and of course scalping, and maybe a little bit of a burn faster in the hip. But it's all about fixing you as well. Make sure the lift comes from the hips, yeah? Next exercise, thread needle. So you're going to keep going without a rest, and just have your bottom on the floor for a few reps. Or you're going to try and get your hips in the air. Reach as far underneath as you can and reset. Exhale, inhale. Or do you prefer the breath the other way around? There's no right or wrong, but it's just understanding the benefits and disadvantages of which way around your breath goes. As long as you are breathing, I guess that's a huge benefit. Release, 20 seconds. And how are you doing? Have you had enough? Are you going to carry on? You take your time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to take a lie down on our back, woohoo, and then we're going to add on. Now, in this next move, if you have clunking at the hip, you might choose to put a booty band around the thighs. We've got booty band frog. So we've done the normal frog that we just did last time. Let's get going. Press your timer, Sarah. Nobody wants to do anything extra. But remember, if there was clunking in the hip and you're not able to brace the core and squeeze the bum enough to stop that clunking, then you might choose just to put a booty band around the top of the thigh so you've got something to push into. Clunking can come from instability, ligaments passing over bone. If it's not taking you into pain, then a minute's worth shouldn't be doing you any harm, although feel free to consult a clinician. Let's talk about technique. Are you pushing the back of the ribs into floor? Exhale, work. Use your out breath as you stretch. You've got 15 seconds to go. And the lower down these legs go, the tougher it is. And if it's going into back, it's time for you to stop. If not, we've just got a few more exercises and you will have survived. Possibly 4 more. Let's find out. Quick breather. Take as much of a breather as you need to. When you're ready to move on, we'll work the lower abs. So I'll go straight into the move. Pause and hug your knees if you're not too sure. If you know you can do this, off you go. Tailbone lifts. Stretch one leg out, toe to thigh, toe to shin. I'll revise my body parts. So I'm using the strength of my arms to lift up off the floor. You can go for 2 straight legs if you get on with it, which is my preferred. And then I can start to, it's like you're coming to a big full stop. The tailbone lift is only if your back feels okay. You might check in and just pull the knees in and then hug onto one leg. Pull the knees in and hug onto one leg. If your back doesn't like this, sometimes the back is already overstretched, it won't like it, then you need to not add the tailbone lift and just go into this move. Brace the core. Am I getting out of breath? That might be because I ate a whole box of Maltesers. Did I just say that on camera? Yep, yes I did. I'm only human. Okay, how are we doing? 3, 2, 1. Okay, scissors. So we start with the legs lifted. Apparently this is your favourite position, Frankie, according to the video I just watched. That sounds even worse, adding that to our chat. Let's go. So we drop one leg to wherever you can. You can hold the lifted leg. You can go much faster than this. So my scissors is, I just love how that feels. But you might have the head resting on something. You might hang on to the leg and go slower. You might have the head on the floor, but feel okay to add the double pulse. So I'm squeezing the thighs, I'm squeezing the kneecap. I'm working in more of a neutral spine on this one, but if imprint is important or better for your back, then go for it. Keep the back in imprint. Upper body lift will just give you a little bit more. Can you tell I've had Maltesers? I think I can. Better work a bit harder, eh? So, as long as your back doesn't hurt, 10 more seconds. 2 more moves. Shall we go for it? 3 minutes worth of 2 more moves though. So, we've got balanced dead bugs. I lied 4 more minutes, even though it's 2 moves, because it's a minute each side of each move. So you decide if you can carry on. Let's go. So you start like this. I want you to pin one hip to the floor as hard as you can. So I'm pinning my left hip and left shoulder to floor, and I'm going to reach towards you guys. Reset. And it's all about clenching the bottom and pushing the stationary side as hard into the floor as you can. Exhale, reach. It's great with a light weight in the hand. Very glamorous, isn't it? So the more harder I work, the more harder, that's bad grammar, the more intensely I work and push that stationary side into the floor, the tougher this move is. Exhale on the reach, inhale to reset, exhale on the reach. So can you feel how the weight's going to try and rock and push into this side closest to the screen? You've got to try and almost keep that side of the bum off the floor, this side of the bum that's closest to the screen. 3, 2, 1, straight to the other side, or have a breather. Best reset my timer, else I'll be wondering how long we got left. Miles easier for me to do it on this side. There is a feet on floor version. Same principle, pushing the opposite butt cheek into floor, and it's actually really tough again. So feel free to use this as a slight breather before we do the last exercise, which is also helps. We've hardly done anything to counterbalance it with the back. We did a little bit at the beginning, but in theory you need your back as strong as the abs, everything, and the side of the abs. So the core is everything, glutes, shoulders, front, back, sides. Pin your hips to floor, Sarah. Maybe I need to slow down. I'm getting too carried away. That's better, a lot more control now. So I'm trying to, my left side's moving and it almost feels like I've got the left bum cheek slightly off the floor. Almost. And you can hear the effort in my voice. Okay, last move, but we've got two sides. Have a breather if you're still with me. So arms reach out, both shoulders need to stay on floor, so wriggle shoulder blades together. You can have feet in the air, tabletop, or feet on the floor. Can you bring your legs towards me and push the arm closest to me into the floor? Same way again. We've got 30 seconds finding your maximum range. So you've got to really tense the inner thighs, and it might be worth grabbing a Pilates ball, holding it between the inner thighs. Squeeze your knees. Now you can stay with this, seeing how far you can possibly go, or you can start to build your fast twitch fibers. So I'm saying at the top half of the move, if this was midnight, pointed to 12 o'clock, I'm not even getting to 1 o'clock, and I'm trying to go as fast as I can. So tiny little move, and I'm stabilizing loads with this shoulder. Don't really need this arm, as you can see. Stabilizing loads with that arm. My abs are on fire, and I'm going to go straight to the other side, but you can pause in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brace the abs, see how far you can go the other way. Last move. Is anyone still with me? No wonder. Brace the core, see how far your body will let you take the legs. Reset and go. So we start with 30 seconds of maximum range of movement. Checking in with your back, core's bracing. I forgot to squeeze the thighs and kneecaps. Let's get everything involved. Arm that your legs are pushing towards is pushing into the floor continuously to get chain reaction. 30 seconds are up, 30 seconds left. Are you staying slow, or are you going to just work at the top range? 5 to 12. Does the back feel okay? Is gripping a cushion between the thighs, a Pilates ball between the thighs help, or not so much? Should we keep going to the end? The bitter end in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and collapse. Now, I'm just doing this because if anything has gone into my back or my hips, hip flexors have done too much work, this just ticks all those boxes. So it's worth doing about a minute of these if you happen to have time. Brace the core, squeeze the bottom a lot as you twist. Check the knees, don't mind this. Maybe take the arms overhead, check your upper body flexibility. How close can you get arms to floor? We didn't do any of that today. So what have you got planned? I'm going to go to work, and I could do with staying in this wonderful late afternoon sun, just as well I like all my clients, eh? 20 seconds left if you want to do your 4 minute of release work. And if you are jumping up, make sure that you're not lightheaded after having your legs in the air for this last couple of exercises. So I hope you got what you needed, and you've got great energy for the rest of the day. Time's up.